execution cycle. So by comparatively, we can combine these three performance, okay, like a read, execute, read, write, and execute operation. We should know, even while writing the program itself, we should ensure what is the maximum time taken by the program for completion of execution process. It should not board with the limited time, or the time allotted for the execution. Because once the processor is designed, it cannot be used for a single application. Okay, it can have a multi-level of application. So initial itself, if your program is floating with some errors or some warning, okay, it will take some time for rectification. Okay, and these delay times will leads to the slow down the performance. So efficiency of the processor will go down. Okay, so each and every part of the execution can be counted by using the proper clock cycle. So that is the reason we are stepping into the counter interface. Clear? Understood? Why we need an ADC unit? Why we need an ADC unit? To interface the peripheral with 8086. Why we required ADC unit? Anyone? ADC நமக்கு எதுக்குமா தேவை? எனக்கு IO இருக்கு, ப்ராசஸர் இருக்கு. ஆனா IO நான் டைரக்டா ப்ராசஸர் கூட கனெக்ட் பண்ணாம through the ADC I'll be interfacing. Why it is? இதனால ADC வழியா ப்ராசஸருக்கு இன்புட் கொடுக்கிறோம். Yes? Anyone? So why we always used to provide an input of the processor through an ADC. It is a very basic question.
Sir.
Yes, ma?
Execution avudha.
Actually, we know that the input which we are receiving from the IO devices are an analog or a digital. It is an analog or a digital. So for example, I can give it to you as, let us take the fan, okay, electrical fan. I have a sensor attached with the fan. So why the sensor is available over there, in the sense I have to monitor the speed of the motor, okay, so that I can have proper ventilation. Okay, so காற்றோட வேகம் வந்து எவ்வளவு எனக்கு இருக்கணும், based on the temperature level, whether the speed of the fan can be increased or it can be reduced. Okay, so for automating the electrical fan, I am fixing some sensor with the fan unit. The ultimate job of the sensor is to drastically monitor the rotational speed of the motor available in the fan unit, correct? Yes? Are we getting the output from the motor unit as an electrical pulse? Actually, an electrical motor is a kind of transducers. Am I correct? Yes or no? It is a kind of transducers or not? What is mean by transducers? Anyone tell me? What is mean by transducers? Yes? It is a device which can convert one form of energy into another form. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let us take an automobile. Okay, let us take an automobile. Input will be fuel. Am I correct? It is liquid in nature, correct?
Yes, sir.
So where the fuel energy will be converted into electrical energy, correct? Yes or no? Similarly, if you take any generators, power generators, if you take, okay, so we'll use a diesel engine or a petrol engine. Okay, power shutdown varumbodhu we are using the generators. Okay, so generator la enna nadakudhu? அதுமே இன்புட் என்னது? இட்ஸ் a liquid nature, correct? பட் உனக்கு கிடைக்கிற அவுட்புட் என்னவா இருக்கு? எலக்ட்ரிக்கல் எனர்ஜி தானே? எஸ் ஆர் நோ? But whereas in an electrical fan, if you could take, the input is given like an electrical energy, where output is an mechanical energy. Am I correct? Fan oda leaves rotate aguduna, it will producing the mechanical energy through the input of electrical energy, correct? So whatever IO you could take, it can be a sensor or it can be any other IO. We cannot expect the output from the IO or digital. Am I correct? It can be any form. It can be any form. Either it can be an analog, or it can be a pressure, or it can be a temperature, or it can be a frequency, or it can be a force. Got my point? Yes? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So, better example I can give it to us. I have a temperature sensor which can be interfaced with my processor. Okay. And the ultimate aim of the temperature sensor is to monitor the atmospheric temperature level and the data to be displayed on the display device available in the processor. Okay. So, temperature sensor na use panni atmosphere oda temperature na monitor பண்றேன். ப்ராசஸர்ல உள்ள டிஸ்பிளே டிவைஸ்ல என்ன வரணும்? அந்த டைம் வந்து என்ன டெம்பரேச்சர் அது சென்ஸ் பண்ணுதோ அது டிஸ்பிளே வரணும். கரெக்ட்? பட் அட்மாஸ்பியரிக்ல என்னோட சென்சார் எடுத்துக்கிறது என்னது? ஹீட் எனர்ஜி, கரெக்ட்? எஸ் ஆர் நோ? The temperature sensor can consume heat energy from the atmosphere, but the same heat energy cannot be carried out by the processor. Yes or no? ப்ராசஸருக்கு தெரியுமா? நம்மளோட பாடியில வந்து டெம்பரேச்சர் மாறுச்சுன்னா we know that something happened in our body. Since it is an electronic device, whether it will understand any changes happen in the atmospheric temperature and getting the input from the sensor like 27 degrees Celsius or 30 degrees Celsius, whether your processor will understand, but it can understand when the data can be available in the nativity form of the processor, correct? அந்த ப்ராசஸரால என்ன ஃபார்மேட்டுக்கு அந்த டேட்டாவை அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ண முடியும் அப்படின்றதுக்கு நம்ம இன்புட் கொடுத்தா அந்த ப்ராசஸர் ரெஸ்பான்ஸ் பண்ணுமா பண்ணாதா? எஸ்? எஸ் ஆர் நோ?
Yes, sir.
ஸோ ஃபாரினர்ஸ் வராங்க, இந்தியாவுக்கு டூரிஸ்ட் வராங்க, அவங்கள கைட் பண்றதுக்கு இங்க ஒருத்தங்க இருப்பாங்க, கரெக்டா? எஸ் ஆர் நோ?
Yes, sir.
பிகாஸ் அவங்க இங்க வந்தானா இங்க உள்ள லாங்குவேஜ் வந்து தே வில் நாட் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட். ஓகே, ஸோ இங்க உள்ள கல்ச்சர், இங்க உள்ள ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ்க்கு அவங்களுக்கு கன்வே பண்ணணும்னா இன் பிட்வீன் தம் தே ஹேவ் a translator, correct? So for converting one nature into another nature, the same kind will be taken care by the ADC unit or a DAC unit in the processor, because the processor will understand only the binary information, but input which we are getting from the environment or which we are getting from the IO devices are not binary form. If you're clear about this? Yes?
Yes, sir.
So to exactly achieve for a precise data or an optimized data which can be an understandable format for the processor, we are going with ADC and DAC. Clear? Yes, understand? So only 43 are there. What about others? So next is about counters. Okay, so we know that ADC and DAC can be used only for data conversion, and counters are used to monitor the number of cycles required for the particular program to be executed, and it can be converted like the suitable format of the processor. Clear? So whatever input we are giving to the processor may be a hexadecimal, but if the processor needs to understand that hexadecimal, then the hexadecimal values are converted to be an executable binary files, which are nothing but a bit file. Okay, so while coming for the laboratory, you will exactly realize how the data can be fed. So we have an opcode sheet. Okay, so each and every instruction we have an opcode. So instead of writing the program on the hardware, we will enter the opcode values to the respective address. Even for an addition, it has a separate opcode. Okay, so the opcode value can be entered. Finally, everything can be entered in the respective address location. When you are executing, you will be getting the same result how we are seeing it on the simulation process. Okay, simulation you are writing the program, but when you are going for an hardware manner, no way we will write the program on the hardware. Okay, we will enter only the opcode of the program. Okay, so the opcode will initiate or make the hardware to understand what is the instruction exactly it needs to read, or it needs to write, or it needs to execute. Clear? But you cannot teach the processor like move a comma b ன்னு சொல்லி அதுக்கு கொடுத்தானா no way it will not understand. Okay, so for move a comma b, it has an opcode of 90. In the sense the 90 can be take the data from the respective address location, then it can be moved to the proper execution. Okay, so for monitoring the cycles of an execution in the program level, we always should depends upon the counters. Understood? Yes or no? So for example, physical சொல்லலாமே. So ஒரு ரன்னிங் எடுத்துக்கோங்க, running race எடுத்துக்கிறோம். There is a certain distance. Okay, we have a timer. How the winners will be announced? For the given distance, whoever attain the level with the minimum time, correct? யாரு கம்மியான நேரத்துல அந்த எக்ஸாக்ட் டிஸ்டன்ஸை வந்து ரீச் பண்றாங்களோ they are the winner, correct? So for physically, if you are taking a simple example like a gaming, we are fixing with some time. We are always fitting with the time. So to get the result, we are fixing with the time. The same kind, we are in dependent on the counter. Okay, so the maximum how many cycles required for the execution of the particular program. Okay, even though that is the reason why most of the cases we are comes into a picture like an embedded system. Okay, because the hardware can be controlled by the software. Okay, so I can control my hardware by using the programming manner. Okay, so same kind will happen, but we should ensure what is the maximum time taken by the processor